I know that there's good gold down there, but we got 100 ounces right here. And we got another 200 ounces right here.
Jesus.
Yeah, we had a rough week.
Rick Ness just ripped over 120 ounces of gold from the ground. Then a beaver dam wrecked everything. Water surged in, turning his richest site into a swampy mess. His crew, down to 4 people, was breaking apart while gear snapped and trucks sank. Let us tune in to the moment the water rises, the gold glows beneath it, and Rick makes a move that no one saw coming. Pressure, pumps, and pay dirt. Ness has already pulled more than 300 ounces from different spots. One stash held around 100, another gave him 200, and one more gave 50 just scraped up while the plant coughed its way through breakdowns. But that ain't the headline. That's just background noise to what came next, because buried just beyond the last cut was a signal that changed everything. Rick had bet it all on a deep dig that was supposed to be full of the shiny stuff. He rolled heavy, but for a while not much happened. Everyone watching thought it was another bust, just deeper mud and busted dreams. But Rick doesn't scare easy. The target? 2,000 ounces. That's the line. Miss it, and it's a season of bills, not checks. Just as the pressure started to crush the crew, gold shows up, enough to wake everybody up. Then the landowner walks in with a deal that'll rattle your fillings. $250,000 for the claim. That's 150 ounces of the good stuff. Now imagine this. Rick, stressed out of his mind, staring at a gold mountain and a bank-sized bill at the same time. Equipment is dropping like flies. The big 700 machine popped a hydraulic line. Without it, nothing moves. No dirt, no gold. Rick's dad jumps in like a pro, sleeves up, grease on his face, welding parts like the clock ain't ticking. They slap it together, and just like that, the hunt's back on. Barely. Then there's the team. Only 4 of them doing the work of 8. One kid named Torchton has to build a beast worth millions, piece by piece. He's 20. The terrain? A swampy nightmare. Duncan Creek keeps shifting under them, and every move could flip a machine. When things actually run, they're getting 70 ounces a week. Sounds sweet, right? Not when Carl, their machine guy, is gone. Every mechanical failure becomes a full stop. They're living on the edge. One more big issue and everything crashes. Brennan takes a shot in the dark, literally just guesses where to dig. And somehow it works. Gold pops up. They name it Bacon Strip. Then the rock truck gets stuck in a fat pile of pay dirt. More delay. But they bounce back with over 75 ounces. Then Riley, the rock truck driver, disappears. Out of nowhere. His girlfriend hops in like it's a joke, and suddenly she's actually doing the job. Turns out Riley got into a fight, went to the hospital, maybe even dealt with police. The show tries to play it cool, but everyone's freaking out. Then the real kick in the teeth. Water. Flooding everywhere. Steel pins snap. Water rushes in, plants stall. Rick's dad, calm. Fixes it. Holds the team together. They fight through and still hit a serious goal. 2,000 ounces hanging just out of reach. Monster Red, the main wash plant, grinds like a beast when it works. When it doesn't, it sits like a $1 million paperweight. Freddie and Juan show up. Miracle workers. They get the busted screens swapped, and the machine is running again. A new cut starts looking juicy. Rick digs and hits something promising. Heavy rocks, that usually means gold. Quick test pans show real chunks, nuggets. This isn't just dust. He sets up the mini plant to handle more, but the site's underwater, 6 feet deep. Solution? A massive pump. $40,000 worth of desperate. They fire it up and it works. Water drains, gold flows, 95 ounces from one plant, nearly 30 from another. Total? Over 120. Big win. But the next week brings a total flop. Less than 5 ounces. Something's wrong. Parts missing. Rocks jamming up the screen. Quick fix with some steel plates, but it's more patch than solution. They scramble to fix Monster Red properly. Takes 4 days. They get it done, start hauling again. 17 ounces. Not great, not awful. Then Rick takes another gamble. Back to an old spot. He thinks the gold's under the road, starts tearing through rock, hits something solid, more test pans, more nuggets. Then the ground floods again. This time because of a beaver dam. They break it, but it makes things worse. Water everywhere. Still, they squeezed 12 ounces out of it. Season total is now close to 700. That's strong, but the clock's ticking. Brennan takes over the night shift. The show barely mentions it. Something feels left out. Rick rolls deeper into Rally Valley. Looks like a dead end. Rocks show up 30 feet earlier than expected. That's good. Heavy rock usually brings gold. Test pans prove it. Real stuff. He rushes to set up the plant, but Monster Red isn't ready. He hesitates, waits, then fires it up anyway. Then comes the surprise. A brand new hopper feeder arrives. Nobody expected it. No one knows how he paid for it. Maybe Fred loaned him cash. Nobody's sure. But it changes the game. Rick runs the plant 2 straight days, pulls 43 and 1/2 ounces. It's not record-breaking, but it's solid. Still, rocks jam the belt. If that system clogs, it's game over. Rick calls the builders. They slap on something called a finger trap to stop it. Quick fix, back in business. Then something personal hits harder than gold troubles, and Rick didn't see it coming. The woman who ended the gold rush. Rick Ness didn't leave gold mining because of broken gear, freezing nights, or some disaster. He left because of a woman. Not a made-up story, not a show script. A real woman walked into his life and pulled the plug on everything he built. For years, the miner had pushed through every kind of pain. Blizzards, busted machinery, long weeks with nothing in the pan. He never folded, but this was something he could not dig his way out of. It started online, just like most things now. After one more rough season, barely making it work, the prospector was running on fumes. That is when Lee showed up. Confident, bold, different. She made him feel something he had not felt in a long time. Like he was more than a miner. Like there was more to him than cold dirt and late nights. That stuff gets into your head fast. Before long, she was not just part of his inbox. She moved to the Yukon, packed her bags, and stepped into his world with both feet. Showed up at the claim. Took a front seat in the operation. She was not the kind of person who stayed quiet in the background, and the usually solo operator let her in. The crew raised eyebrows. This was the guy who left Parker Schnabel to prove he could do it on his own. Now he had someone else calling shots. At first, it kind of worked. She was there through the cold, the long days, the weight of bad weigh-ins. But gold mining does not play fair, and it does not care about love. The job beat her down. The cold, the early mornings, the endless obsession with pay dirt. She hated all of it. He kept grinding, trying to juggle both. But he could not carry her and the mine at the same time. Tension built. First, it was little things. Then the fight started, long ones. The kind that don't blow over with sleep. She wanted more. He was already stretched thin. She could not understand why he poured every bit of himself into a job that barely gave anything back. To her, it looked like madness. To him, it was life. This kind of fight leaves dents. Then came the jealousy. Gold Rush gave the crew leader a spotlight. Fame brings fans. Fans bring messages, likes, attention. She watched his every move online, every photo, every comment. Then she found something. No one really knows what. Maybe a message, maybe something worse. Whatever it was, it set off a fire. She went public, loud, called him a liar. Said he cheated. Not to friends, not in private, on the internet. The drama exploded. Gold Rush fans ate it up like a buffet. Some stood with her, some defended him. The foreman looked stuck, not just in love, but in a full-blown mess. The mine was slipping. The crew looked lost, and then came the twist. They got back together. The same woman who called him out everywhere, now back at his side. But this time there were rules. She did not want the old life. Not the cold, not the dirt, not the 16-hour days. She wanted him, but not the miner version. And somehow, he gave it to her. He quit. Told the crew it was over, packed up, walked out of the Yukon. No more digging, no more cameras. Just her. For a bit, it looked like peace. Warm weather, clean hands, a break from the endless chase. But gold mining does not let go easy. It stays under your skin. Whispers started. People saying he missed it, that he felt lost without it, that maybe she got what she wanted, then wanted something else. Her social posts changed, no more pictures of them, just cryptic messages that screamed trouble. Then came the rumors, another split. Fans noticed, asked questions. Producers said he was welcome back anytime. His old crew, now working with other bosses, said they would drop everything to join him again. But the Wisconsin native? Quiet. He had spent years building something. From nothing. Starting on Parker's team, driving rock trucks, climbing all the way to running his own claim, making risky calls, betting big on untested crew members, fighting through equipment breakdowns and brutal storms. He carved out a name for himself with nothing but grit. Season 9 was when he went solo, picked first-timers over veterans, turned that gamble into over 1,000 ounces of gold. That is over $1 million of raw metal from the earth. Not bad for a guy with no background in mining, just drive. Season 10 brought bigger gear, bigger problems. The wash plant Monster Red was a beast, took forever to set up. But once it started chewing through dirt, the payback was solid. Huge recovery, big results. Season 11 was chaos. Global mess on top of regular mining headaches, safety rules, crew changes, border checks, but the operation leader kept going. Adjusted, found new ground, dug through setbacks, and still pulled off solid weigh-ins. Even without his right-hand man Carl, who was out sick. He juggled it all. By season 12, they hit a stretch of gold worth over $170,000 in 1 week. Later, the pressure to double output or lose the claim turned into their biggest haul yet. They earned the right to buy the land outright. Now the ground was theirs. Not leased, owned. But things started sliding. Lee joined him that year. She was there, right in the thick of it. Then it started unraveling. Again. Breakups, makeups, then silence. Then came the biggest shock. The one-time band frontman stepped away from it all. Not just the mine, the whole thing, crew, show, work. He walked. Not because of failure, not because of cold. Because of love. Or what looked like it. The break from mining wasn't peaceful. Rumors said he missed it. Some said he struggled, that he was not the same without it. Others whispered that Lee, now in control, was the one pulling back. The story kept twisting. This wasn't the first big turn for the former miner. His story started way before gold, back in Wisconsin, around loud machines and dirt lots. Born in March of 1981, raised in a construction family, grew up knowing how to move earth, played football in high school, thought he would go pro. That ended with one bad hit, dreams gone. Just like that. He bounced to music, formed a band in 2004, the 3-5-7 string band, mixed bluegrass with punk, upright bass, road life. Albums dropped in 2006, 2008, and 2010. By 2011, the band broke up, back to square one. Then came mining. Met Parker Schnabel at a fair in Alaska. 9 months later, he was driving rock trucks on Gold Rush. Learned fast, got promoted, became foreman, ran crews, made the jump to his own operation. Fought through nightmare seasons, battled machines, faced deep snow and tight budgets, and still he pulled gold from the ground. Now it's Tony's turn, and the ground is about to fight back hard. When the dirt fought back, everything looked fine, until the dirt turned to soup. Tony Beats had dropped nearly $800,000 on a brand new wash plant, confident it would devour gravel and pour out gold. But what he got instead was a swamp. The ground turned into a soggy mess that swallowed tires and trapped machines. The crew stood helpless, boots sinking into muck as every second ticked away more money. At first, things looked good. Gold glittered in the pan, but the terrain beneath was no ally. Water refused to drain and the loader bogged down in the sludge. Chelsea tried to keep the operation moving, but every scoop dragged the loader deeper. The wash pad turned into a trap, and the wheels of progress spun in place, stuck in a collapsing surface. Tony didn't wait for a report. He showed up himself. No warnings, no instructions over the radio, just action. He jumped into the loader, dumping thick tailings to create a rough road, improvising without a plan. It wasn't pretty, but it worked. The machines rolled forward again. Soon, the wash plant came alive. It had to process 250 yards per hour to stay efficient. Ty Smith kept the feed consistent. With Paradise Hill already in full swing, Indian River joined the gold rush. The first cleanup didn't disappoint. In just 3 days, the plant recovered 84 ounces of gold, double the pace of the old setup. Mike's smaller plant on the hill kept cranking too. The gold tally soared. 20 ounces, then 40, then past 400. That was over $800,000 in raw gold. Not bad for a site that looked like a sinking disaster just days earlier. Tony's instincts had saved the day, but his focus wasn't just on what was running. Half a mile away sat a forgotten pile, a heap of old gravel and wood. Nothing about it screamed treasure, but Tony had watched that spot for 35 years. Buried underneath were the remains of a century-old wooden sluice box. Back then, miners used simple setups and caught what they could. Most of the gold slipped past. Tony grabbed a few buckets, tossed them into a test trommel. Monica filled them. The concentrate hit the gold room. The pans sparkled. Dozens of flakes in every scoop. Not nuggets, but a reliable spread of fine gold. That so-called junk pile was hiding something. Tony didn't cheer. He just stared. He had waited decades to see that shine. The big New Zealand wash plant stood ready. If the results kept up, he planned to run it full-time for up to 4 weeks. Meanwhile, Mike chased down their seasonal goal of 3,000 ounces. They needed 177 ounces per week. Mike delivered 164 in just a few days, nearly $287,000 worth. Then came the test pile weigh-in. Only 4 hours of runtime before the loader broke down, but it still gave them 4.2 ounces, over $7,000. Tony did the math. 1 ounce per 100 yards of tailings. That was better than some of the active cuts. They dug deeper. Each bucket revealed more fine gold. Monica ran the trommel with surgical precision. The gold wasn't clustered in one layer. It ran deep through the old pile. Up on the hill, Kevin hit a bigger problem. Frost. Solid white permafrost ran deep. No way to dig, blast, or thaw in time. It was like slamming into concrete. They moved to the tree line, tested another hole, still frozen. 200 feet away, thawed. Dark, wet ground, 40 feet of gravel. That was the break they needed. Kevin and Mike mapped a new cut. It wasn't easy. Nearby fires smoked the air, winds kicked up, but the gravel was clean and heavy. 700 square feet of pay dirt waited. Monica kept the plant running non-stop. Kevin peeled back layers. Mike hauled non-stop. The mega cut began to take shape. Then something unexpected happened. Kevin tested another corner. Same thawed, rich gravel. No frost. They expanded the plan. Bulldozers cleared. Trucks lined up. Machines rolled. 2 ends of the mega cut began linking. The payoff came quick. Not just from new ground, but from those old tailings too. Gold stacked up from forgotten corners and stubborn terrain. Machines moved, dirt flowed, and the gold kept pouring in. What began as a bogged-down mess had turned into the biggest cleanup of the year. The land had pushed back, but Tony and his crew pushed harder. They didn't just survive the mud, they conquered it. And now the gold wouldn't stop coming. What if this ground still has more to give? Like the video, drop a comment with your take, and hit subscribe for more.